The filter-free diary. Hey, so it's 8:53. It's getting a little darker. Yes, it's almost 9 o'clock, and it's probably about time I start settling in for the night. But then, I was watching the video to make sure, I had good information and good flow, and that was one of the ones I was going to keep. And I realized I didn't even explain the Lord of the Spirits, and there's a whole vision thing, and we just couldn't fit it all in. So I figured I better pop on back real quick, which for you is still 24 hours later. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm cracking up because of all the shit. Anyways, I better hop back on here and explain, the Lord of the Spirits. Because that's something you can see and understand, and that is like one of the best demonstrations of how spirit is a thing, but then it can break into little pieces like a rock, and still be the thing, but be a smaller version. But if you gather all the pieces of a rock together again, you can make the big rock again. And that's what the Lord of the Spirits is. It's oh, that's a good one. So like when you're outside and you see a whole bunch of birds flying in the sky and they're moving together like a ribbon, that's the Lord of the Spirit. Was that necessary? I don't think so. Sorry. So anyways, yeah, I feel like my period's coming because I'm just telling people things they do not need to know about their bad behavior. So the whole thing that looks like the birds are all moving together like a giant collective, like a ribbon in the sky, that is the Lord of the Spirits. You can see the greater being arise up out of all the smaller beings because that's how spirit works. It doesn't matter if it's one spirit, two spirit, three spirit, four spirit, you're right? Because when you put them together, it's still just spirit. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And not for nothing, humanity already knows that, because not only do we see it in the movement of the birds in the sky, but we also see that in the fish in the water below. And not for nothing, you can actually see it in everything. You can see it in a pack of wolves and the way they move. You can see it in a flock of sheep or a herd of cattle. You can see it in horses running across the range. Anytime you see a collective spirit, and the weirdest thing is, it doesn't even need to be the entire all the same species. It doesn't actually have to be, and that's when it gets real weird. That's when you're like, you see a pack of wolves and you realize there's a kid running with them. That's one of the coolest things, because now you're seeing this other piece of spirit that doesn't fit in with the greater whole that it's with, and yet, what is it doing? It's adapting. It's doing the little Mowgli thing, right? Like the Jungle Book thing, right? Or like I forget what was, Dances with Wolves. He wasn't raised by wolves. Anyways, the idea that in all of us there is a spirit, and it is inherently part of the same collective, can be seen across species. Not very often, because we tend to eat each other on this planet. But if we don't decide to eat each other, if we are like a household that has cats and dogs living together in the same household, then when you do the food thing, don't all of them kind of move like one flowing body together? Yes, those freaks, those starving freaks that live to eat, like so many of us that have just forgotten we're more than mouths. Anyways, so the idea that all the peoples of a nation are a dragon, yes, but the dragon symbolizes the Lord of the spirits, and you can see it. You can see it in people, you can see it in fish, you can see it in birds, and it's cool that you can actually have a visual representation. And not for nothing, that's kind of what happens in dance. And I'm going to tell you something. One of Spirit's favorite things to do is dance. And I like to dance, I do, but not as much as it likes to dance. And sometimes when I see the Lord of the Spirits, doing the thing in a collective, I kind of wonder to myself, are they all just dancing? Are they all just kind of following that flow, and that's how they know where to go? Okay, sorry. I'm done. Have a good evening.